Early intervention home visits. There may be terms in this video that you are not familiar with. You may want to pause the video here and get a pen and paper. Early intervention visits occur in the home, outside in the backyard, in the community, or during the daily activities in childcare settings. Intervention visits are the times when you, the important adult in the child's life, partner with early interventionists to figure out the best way to help children learn and develop. It is also the time to work on other goals the family wants early intervention to help with. Many families and care providers ask, what do intervention visits look like? What should I expect to happen? This video answers those questions, and the answers are really the same, whether the visit occurs with the family or other care providers. Before we illustrate how intervention visits work, let's explore why visits happen the way they do. What we know is best based on how young children learn. All children, regardless of needs, benefit from services built around their daily routines. Young children are learning all the time. They are learning when they are playing with toys, interacting with others, and even during activities we might not think about, like changing diapers and going on errands.
And then let him do the second part.
Well, how is that?
Children learn best when they have opportunities to practice new skills or competencies throughout the week. Children also learn best when they learn where they will be actually using the new skills in the activities of everyday life.
Otra vez mi turno.
You already provide wonderful learning opportunities. Early intervention does not have to take away these opportunities to be effective. Instead, early intervention works best by helping families and other care providers make the most of the opportunities that are already occurring.
Here I hear a flamingo.
Intervention visits actually strengthen what's already happening between visits, the typical everyday activities the child participates in, and the ways you help the child learn. With that in mind, let's see what intervention visits look like.
Basically, Birth to Three tries to use what they loosely call a parent coaching model, the premise of which is that parents are perfectly capable of stimulating their child's development. Okay, so in most situations we find this approach, which I'll describe to you, to be the most effective. Parent and clinician work as a team. If it may not always be the parent, sometimes it's a babysitter or the grandparent or the child care provider, whoever's taking care of the child. Parents know their child the best, they spend the most time with them, and they're the most motivated for their success.
Let's start with where intervention visits occur. Early intervention visits happen anywhere the child spends time and during the times when you want support in helping the child learn. These times are called routine activities.
I was supposed to take Brown language.
While there might be nothing routine about your day, routine activities are whatever the child does during his or her day, including getting dressed or eating. During intervention visits, strategies to promote the child's development are used within these routine activities. The interventionist does not need to separate the child from what's already happening or ask you to create or use new activities. There does not need to be a time set aside for intervention visits, nor are there exercises or homework that happens outside of your typical schedule. Instead, the suggested ways to help the child learn and develop fit into what's already happening during the day. Because children act different at different times and places, the interventionist will want to make sure that the suggested strategies fit the routine activities as they usually occur.
Or the prominent word that you said, that's wonderful.
To make sure strategies do fit, the routine activity should look like they do when the interventionist is not there. This means that even if it's later in the evening or early in the morning, intervention visits can occur when the routine activity actually occurs. Even if it's busy, the people who are usually a part of the routine activity should be there, because that's the way it's going to happen when the interventionist is not there in between visits.
All right, bud.
Now, let's talk about what happens during the intervention visit. How you and the interventionist partner to promote child learning and development. Remember, the child is actually learning in between home visits. Intervention visits are not enough for the child to learn. Visits are also not expected to replace what you do throughout the day and week. We know that families and care providers can effectively use strategies when they receive the right level of support.
I think he knows.
He knows the oven, she says it's hot, and the counter, there's drinks on that plate. Go on the counter, it's on the counter over there. And he'll get it.
So make sure you don't just say over there, make sure you say counter. Do you know what I'm saying? He is so ready for more vocabulary, richer input.
Intervention visits are supposed to help you feel comfortable and able to use the strategies that help your child learn. To do this, the interventionist acts as a coach or consultant. At the intervention visit, you and the interventionist will discuss what you would like assistance with. Together, you will identify possible strategies that can help your child learn.
Speech, what can we do just right?
Strategies will be tried out. The interventionist and you will make sure the strategies decided on are right for you and the child. If you don't understand why you're using a certain strategy, ask the interventionist. The more the interventionist knows about what you're thinking, the more he or she can support you. The interventionist might show you how to use a strategy. Watch how they use the strategy and how the child responds.
Or you can go heart, wherever his focus is. Just a little gestural cue.
When you see anything you want to talk about, feel free to ask or comment. The purpose of the interventionist showing you how to do the strategy is so that you feel comfortable enough to try it yourself.
I'll do it on you. So you can, I'm gonna press that. Feel your tongue kind of go down.
A very important part of the visit is for you to try out the strategies while the interventionist is there. That way, both of you know you are doing the strategy right and the strategy is effective.
Roll, 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 roll. You do.
What we know is not effective is leaving you with strategies that do not work for the child or do not work for you. Remember, the child needs lots of opportunities to practice and learn. That's only going to happen if you feel comfortable and able to use the strategies. If you don't feel comfortable, you and the interventionist can brainstorm ways to change the strategies so they work for you, your child, and others in the routine activity. There's another thing we know about how children learn that affects how intervention visits happen. When participating in everyday routine activities, children use all of their developmental domains together to learn and develop. Because of this, early intervention uses what's called a primary service provider model. In this model, the team chooses one interventionist to collaborate with you on a one-to-one basis. While the primary service provider might have specific expertise in one domain, such as speech, he or she also has knowledge and experience promoting learning across all domains of development.
Should we do more music? Okay. Tick, tock, tick, tock.
That way, both you and the child only work with one professional instead of juggling many and having one set of recommended strategies that address all areas of development. And the primary service provider is not alone. There's a team of professionals from other disciplines with expertise in specific domains to assist as needed. In this video, We explored 3 main features of intervention visits: routine activities, coaching and consultation, and the primary service provider model. These practices are used because of what we know about child learning and development and the important role of families and other care providers. Early intervention is a support to you in what you are already doing. For more information, please talk with your service coordinator or call the Birth to 3 Family Liaison at 1-866-888-4188.